The Supreme Court has basically set the bar where, partisan gerrymandering is perfectly legal.
In a 6-3 vote Wednesday, the U.S. Supreme Court's conservative majority struck down Louisiana's congressional map that would have secured 2 predominantly black voting districts in the state, siding with a lower court ruling that found it relied too heavily on race. This after a group of self-described non-African American voters filed a lawsuit calling the map, which was redrawn in 2024, an unconstitutional gerrymander.
And you can't take the Voting Rights Act into consideration unless you take race into consideration. That's the whole remedy of the Voting Rights Act. So it's terrible.
About a third of Louisiana's population is black. In a dissenting opinion, liberal Justice Elena Kagan wrote that the ruling allows states to, quote, systematically dilute minority citizens' voting power, essentially gutting Section 2 of the historic Voting Rights Act that prohibits discriminatory voting practices based on race.
Now, essentially what we're doing is having to prove intent. They're not going to admit that there's intent, that they're drawing lines for the intent of racial discrimination. So how do you show that? And even though that is not the legal standard, that's really what we're forced to show.
The Supreme Court's ruling signals a big win for Republicans who may now have a better chance of holding on to their razor-thin majority in the House, as Democratic-led redistricting efforts in states like California and Virginia also face legal hurdles ahead of November's midterm elections. Candice Cole, Global News, Washington.